Good morning everyone, welcome back to GK Today, and today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 29th and 30th of September 2021. Starting with very first question, Justin Trudeau has been elected as the Prime Minister of which country for the third time? So he is the Liberal Party leader of Canada, and recently he has been elected as the Prime Minister of Canada for the third time. So basically he has been in power since the year 2015 and has won 3 elections in a term of 6 years. Okay. Now apart from it, the Prime Minister of Thailand was in news these days. Why? Because recently he has won the vote of confidence in the parliament. And who's that? Prayut Chan-o-cha. Okay. The new Prime Minister of Malaysia is Ismail Sabri Yaqub. Also do remember that our Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to virtually preside over an open debate at United Nations Security Council, and this debate was regarding maritime security. Okay. Then our new governor of Punjab is Banwari Lal Purohit, and the new governor of Uttarakhand is Gurmeet Singh, and the new governor of Tamil Nadu is R.N. Ravi. Can you tell me who is our new Chief Minister of Gujarat? Please write down in the comment section. Also recently, Prime Minister has inaugurated the state-of-art Sardar Dham Bhavan at Ahmedabad. And according to the US-based global leader approval tracker Morning Consult, approval rating of Prime Minister Narendra Modi was the highest among the 13 world leaders. Then apart from all these things, our Health Minister Mansukh Mandavia has recently been appointed as chairperson of Stop TB Partnership Board. And Mr. Abhay Kumar Singh has been appointed as Joint Secretary in Ministry of Cooperation. Fine. Question number 2. With which country India formally launched negotiation on Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement? So do remember that UAE is the India's third largest trading partner in terms of value in the year 2019 and 2020, and the trade value is presently valued close to 59 billion USD. Also, it is the India's second largest export destination, and which is the largest export destination of India? It is USA. So recently India and UAE have formally launched negotiation on Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement, which is expected to increase the bilateral trade between the two countries to 100 billion USD in 5 years. Okay. Now also few days back we have seen that UAE has decided to issue the golden visa to all the doctors who are living there. Why? To commend the doctors for their contribution during this coronavirus pandemic. Okay. And talking about UAE golden visa system, it provides basically long-term residences in the West Asian nation for up to 5 or 10 years. And the benefit is provided for the people who are basically investors, entrepreneurs, or individuals, or some type of medical professionals. Why? To attract more foreigners to address the economic crisis caused by COVID-19 outbreak there. Okay. Now let me tell you one more thing. Few days back, or you can say few months back, the Eagle Act of USA was in news. Why? First of all, what does Eagle stands for here? It is Equal Access to Green Cards for Legal Employment Act. And basically this act proposes to phase out the limit of 7% per country on employment-based immigrant visas. Okay, and further it also seeks to raise 7% per country limit to 15% on family-sponsored visas. Okay, so do remember what does this acronym stands for. And these days Jeev Milkha Singh was in light. Why? Because he has become the first golfer in the world to be granted Dubai Golden Visa. Okay. Now apart from all these things, also the government of India has recently launched National Single Window System for investors and businesses. So this portal is designed to act as a single point of contact for obtaining all approval and clearance for business enterprises and investors. So this would basically enhance ease of doing business or transparency, or you can say accountability. Fine. So currently approvals across 18 central departments and 9 states have been onboarded to the portal, and another 14 departments would be onboarded by December 2021. Okay. Question number 3. India has recently come out with easing the rules for storage of which hazardous chemical. So the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has revised and eased the rules pertaining to storage and handling of ammonium nitrate and calcium carbide for improved safety. And this revision comes at the backdrop of the deadly Beirut, which is capital of Lebanon, explosion which occurred due to storage of 3,000 tons of ammonium nitrate at the port for 6 years. Okay. Now apart from it, as per the data of 2020, India's total coal production has decreased by 2.02%, which leads to 716.084 metric tons. And in this, Chhattisgarh registered highest coal production. Okay, and it was further followed by Odisha and Madhya Pradesh. Do remember that Jharkhand is the top producer of coking coal. Also recently, the Coal India Limited has formally engaged Accenture as consultant for digitalization of coal mines. So now this tie-up will aim to use data analytic techniques to raise mining process and efficiency. Okay. Can you tell me who's the first ever female engineer to work with Coal India Limited? Please write in the comment section. Also, India is the largest producer of milk globally with an estimated production of 208 metric tons. Also recently, Narendra Modi has chaired the 13th BRICS Summit virtually, and the theme was BRICS at the rate 15, Intra-BRICS Cooperation for Continuity, Consolidation and Consensus. Okay. Question number 4. Which bank has committed a sum of 30,000 crore rupees lending in India towards sustainable financing till financial year 2026? So this is India's leading private sector bank, Axis Bank, and this step has been taken in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. And this commitment is intended to assist India to reach the SDG targets by the year 2030. So basically the bank intends to make wholesale lending to sustainable development projects which would have positive social as well as environmental impact. Okay. So your correct answer is option number B. Now apart from it, few days back we have seen that UNDP along with HDFC Bank and Greater Noida Industrial Development Authority have inked a pact to set up a facility to manage up to 300 metric tons of dry waste in city every month. Okay, so this bank is quite important. And few days back, SIDBI has unveiled an application-based digital lending platform named as Digital Prayas. Why? To facilitate loans to entrepreneurs from low income groups. So basic objective is to sanction loan by the end of the day and to cater to those from urban areas. SIDBI has partnered with Big Basket. Okay. Also, can you tell me which bank has launched digital platform named as Merchant Stack to provide banking services to the retail merchants? So this is ICICI Bank. Also do remember that LIC is the Indian insurance company that has been featured in top 10 list of most valuable insurance brands globally. Also talking about HDFC Bank, it has planned to be carbon neutral by 2031 to 32 by reducing its emissions, energy and water consumption. Also, Mr. Rasmi Ranjan Das, who is a Joint Secretary of Finance Ministry, has recently been appointed to the UN Tax Committee as a member for the term period of 2021 to 2025. And Mr. Sandeep Bakshi has recently been reappointed as CEO and MD of ICICI Bank. Question number 5. Rajiv Bansal has been appointed to which bureaucratic position? So currently he is the chairman of Air India and he has been appointed as the new Aviation Secretary of India now. So he is set to replace Pradeep Singh Kharola, and apart from him, Mr. K. Rajaraman has been appointed as Secretary in the Department of Telecommunications. Okay. Now apart from it, the Vice Chief of Indian Air Force, Shri V.R. Chaudhary, has recently been appointed by Government of India as next Chief Marshal of the Air Force. And he has succeeded the Air Chief Marshal R.K.S. Bhadauria. Okay. Also, Indian Navy has proposed to conduct the sailing parade to commemorate the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav recently, and first such event would be conducted in Indian Naval Watermanship Training Center, Kochi. Now, the aviation regulators EASA means European Union Aviation Safety Agency, and DGCA, that is Director General of Civil Aviation, have entered into a working arrangement to achieve common safety and environment protection standards. So now through this agreement, the aviation regulators of India and Europe hope to decrease the economic burden that has been imposed on the aviation industry by redundant technical inspection, evaluation and testing. Fine. Also CBIC, that is Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs, has declared the Kushinagar Airport as Customs Notified Airport. So now this would facilitate international passenger movements, including that of Buddhist pilgrims. Fine. Now you have to tell me in which state of India the emergency landing facility on a national highway has recently been inaugurated. Please write in the comment section. Also do remember that our new Secretary General of Rajya Sabha is Dr. Ramacharyulu, and the senior bureaucrat J.B. Mohapatra has recently been appointed as Chairman of Central Board of Direct Taxes, that is CBDT. Okay. Question number 6. Which of the following schemes is aimed to achieve universal health coverage in India? So Pradhan Mantri Jan Arogya Yojana is the Government of India's flagship scheme that was launched on 23rd of September 2018 with an aim to achieve universal health coverage. So this scheme has successfully completed 3 years of operation recently, and under this scheme, health cover of 5 lakh rupees per family per year for secondary and tertiary care hospitalization is provided to more than 10 crore poor families. Okay. Now apart from it, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade has recently brought the Patents Amendments Rule 2021, and under the revised rules, the processing fees levied on educational institutions for filing patents has been reduced by 80%. So now this move is aimed to encourage greater participation of the educational institutions in the innovation ecosystem in the country. Fine. So do remember that Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade is related to the registration of patents. Fine. Now apart from it, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to announce a nationwide rollout of the Pradhan Mantri Digital Health Mission. So basically it includes 3 basic platforms. First is Health ID, second is Doctors Registry, and third one is Health Facility Registry. So the unique Digital Health ID will contain all the health records of the person, and the National Digital Health Mission is currently in its pilot phase across the Union Territories of Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Chandigarh, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu, Ladakh, Lakshadweep and Puducherry. Fine. Question number 7. Fed to Fail, the crisis of children's diets in early life is a report recently released by which institution? Whenever we'll be talking about children, obviously it would be related to UNICEF. So this is a report by UNICEF, and as per this particular report, only half of children aged between 6 to 23 months are being fed the minimum recommended number of meals a day, and only a third consume the minimum number of food groups they need to prosper. And the report also revealed that COVID-19 pandemic has worsened the situation. Fine. Now apart from it, few days back, World Health Organization has partnered with Facebook to provide COVID-19 information to the world's most vulnerable people. Also, UNICEF has earlier partnered with Facebook to launch a 1-year joint initiative on ending violence against the children with a special focus on online safety. So this partnership seeks to create a safe environment for children both offline as well as online, and this initiative aims to improve the children's resilience and capacity to access the digital world safely, and also to increase awareness on violence against the children and its impact on the children, their families and their society, and also to increase skills of these children to prevent and respond to these type of violences. Okay. Question number 8. India held its first joint working group meeting on coal and mines with which country? So recently India and Australia held the first JWG meeting on coal and mines through video conferencing, and it is held ahead to the India-Australia Energy Dialogue that is scheduled to be held next month. So basically the discussions focused on Indian coal resources, strategic minerals demand and supply scenario and engagements with Australia. And they also discussed collaboration on clean coal technology, surface coal gasification, coal bed methane, sharing of technology for fire quenching, coal-based hydrogen, etc. Okay. Now, a few days back also we have seen that Australia has said that it will support India's Gaganyaan mission by tracking it through Cocos Keeling Island. Also, ISRO is working on technologies in order to develop reusable GSLV Mk3 launch vehicle. Why? To obviously utilize money as well as energy both. And also we have seen that ISRO, in accordance with IISc, have jointly developed a modular device to cultivate microorganisms in space, so as to carry out the biological experiments in outer space during our Gaganyaan mission. Okay. Question number 9. Which association or institution proposed the world's first common charging port for mobile phones? So the European Union aims to have a common charging port for mobile phones, tablets and headphones under a European Commission proposal presented for the very first time in the world. And this move is said to have impact on iPhone maker Apple more than its rivals. So now under the Commission's proposal, a USB-C connector will become the standard port for all the smartphones, and for this purpose EU also cites environmental benefits and $250 million in annual saving for users. Okay. Now already we have seen that England has become the first country in the world that has announced to introduce a law under which all newly built homes and offices will require to have electric vehicle chargers there. So now under this legislation, all new homes and offices will be required to feature smart charging devices which can automatically charge the vehicles during off-peak periods. Okay. And also these new office blocks will require to install a charging point for every 5 parking spaces. And hence this law will make England the very first country in the world that requires all new homes to have EV chargers. Do remember that we celebrate World EV Day on 9th of September to mark the celebration of e-mobility, so as to educate the people about the benefits of electric vehicles. You have to tell me, when do we celebrate the International Red Panda Day? Think wisely and write down your answers in the comment section. Coming to the last question, what is the rank of India in the World Giving Index 2021? So recently the Charities Aid Foundations releases the World Giving Index, and as per the 2021 edition, India is now in the top 20 most generous countries in the world, and it is at 14th rank. So this year's survey highlights the impact of lockdowns on charitable giving. So obviously the COVID-19 pandemic has toppled the charity trends across the world, as several Western countries did not fare well in the index due to COVID lockdowns. So the USA, Canada, Ireland, the UK and the Netherlands fell down from the highest rankings. Okay. Now there is one more ranking. It is International Startup Hubs. So do remember that Mumbai has maintained its position of rank 1 in the emerging ecosystem category in this particular ranking. And London retained its second place, and it was tied between London and New York. Bangalore was ranked at 23rd globally and Delhi was placed at 36th position. So basically the report revealed that London is the most attractive destination to set up a tech startup outside of Silicon Valley. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions, and at the end of the lecture do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, me Nuzhat Sana signing off.